So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. As today, you know what? I wanted to do this live stream since quite a long while. I'll be very honest with you, and it's one of those live streams where I think, let us be the main character. Let us dream, but at the same time, obviously, it would be too easy for me today in today's stream to go, oh well, yeah, obviously Mourinho wants Mbappe up front. He would also like Van Dijk in defense. That would be too easy. This live stream is dream signings, but obviously when we speak about Roma, you always need to remember that realistic bracket at the end. Now, these are dream signings. These are signings which this live stream is not my 5 dream signings at Roma. This live stream is all about, let's try and think who 5 dream signings Mourinho would love. The 5 dream signings of Jose Mourinho. And today's live stream, many people wanted me and probably want me to go to keep you updated on transfer news. The thing is, when you've got a World Cup on, the global attention really could not care less about transfer news. And don't get me wrong, we do have little transfer news, little transfer updates, but it's really nothing big. So I think when it comes to proper transfer news, we will have to wait until the end of the World Cup. But this doesn't mean that thinking about the transfer news and the transfer market is wrong. In fact, today I've prepared a list of 5 players which, in my opinion, Mourinho would love to see at Roma. Now, there's one of these players which is less realistic than the others, but at the same time, I'll speak about why it's realistic as well. So just a disclaimer, but obviously before we get into this entertaining live stream, if you haven't already, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're a road to 6k. If we can hit 6k by Christmas, it would mean the world to me. So get your friends, get your family members to subscribe to the channel if they haven't yet done it. Right, the first player. In fact, let me get my list off. Because the first player, in fact, is a player which we've talked about a few days ago. This is a player which is most probably one of the priorities in this January window. But getting him would be very, very important. And getting him, in my opinion, would satisfy Mourinho so much. So, the thing is, the player is Evan Ndika. I think Mourinho would love to get Ndika at Roma. And I think this is why it's my first pick. I think Mourinho, since quite a long while, has expressed his will of having another centre-back. And most, if you want to satisfy me more, then let's try and get a left-footed centre-back. Ndika is a centre-back, Ndika is a left-footed centre-back. So I think Mourinho would love Ndika. And obviously, this kind of stands within the conversation that we were having a few days ago, just in the Ndika live stream. Ndika just won the Europa League. And, one of our objectives, even though it's going to be hard, is to try and get as furthest as possible in the Europa League. So someone who's got that experience, I think Mourinho would absolutely love. And that means you're being more solid in defence. And especially, there are talks going on, there are rumours going on saying that Smalling at the renewal of contract is an uncertainty. We don't know if Smalling will renew his contract. Therefore, we have to be ready in a hypothetical worst case scenario where Smalling doesn't renew his contract and leaves us in June. We have to have someone and a backup plan ready, which is as physical as Smalling, which has got a lot of experience like Smalling, and especially the most important thing, needs to have a lot of confidence just like Smalling, which is something which I think both Mancini and Ibanez tend to lack in some encounters. But yeah, Ndika is definitely the first player in my list. The second player is a player which we've been linked with this summer, that in fact Mourinho has traced since he was, if I'm not wrong, a Manchester United manager. It's a player which we really know 100% Mourinho would love to have in his team. And because it's a player which Mourinho has just been tracked and tracing and just looking at for so many years. Therefore, I'm talking about Zaha. Now Zaha, I think, needs that jump in his career. Zaha has been playing at Crystal Palace for so long. Now the complicated part in this is that Zaha wants to stay in the Premier League. But let's not forget that if Jose gives him a call, a good old Jose call, and Zaha looks at the situation that brought Dybala to Roma and listens to the ambitions of the club, I would not hide that Zaha would want to join Roma. And Zaha, to me, is the player out of this list which Roma needs the most. Have you noticed how much we lack a player who just gets the ball and goes forward? There are two players in this team which do that. Zaniolo on one side and El Shaarawy on the other side. And yes, Dybala, but Dybala's more creative and stuff. No one else gets the ball, is fast on the ball, and just starts dribbling everyone. Zaha can do that. Zaha has shown that he can do that against massive teams in the Premier League. Why can't he do it in the Serie? Oh, for God's sake. My family just rung at that doorbell. They don't know what keys are. I'll be back 2 seconds because my family my dad, it's probably my dad. It's always him. He's just let me go and open the door. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Oh, for God's sake. Right, I'm back, lads. I'm back with a bang, with a massive bang. Right, we're talking about Zaha. I think Roma need a player like Zaha. Now, if it will be Zaha, if it won't be Zaha, I think Roma really needs someone with Zaha's just personality. And another thing which Mourinho loves about Zaha is his attitude. Mourinho loves those kind of players. Just loves those kind of players. Players which are bastard players. Players which complain against the referee. And Zaha, oh my God, Zaha's the best player when it comes to do that. So Zaha is definitely my second pick. We have to search these kind of players. Players which know how to handle the ball and especially bag the goals and the contributions. Because we lack that so much now. And I just think Zaha is what Roma need right now. And it will surprise you, but I totally think out of the list that I've prepared today, Zaha is the player Roma needs the most. And you listen to the others, which I'm going to name, and they're big players as well. But Zaha is the one which we need the most at the moment because we just don't score. And I think if you have Zaha on one side, if you have Dybala in the middle, maybe with Pellegrini and Nico on the other side, I think that is mayhem. That is mayhem, especially if Tammy grabs the faith back up and the confidence. That is mayhem. And that is, I think, something which Mourinho would love. Right, the third player. Right, you see, this is the player which, in fact, no, I'm going to leave this for last. You want it, you sneaky little lads. No, I'm gonna keep the less realistic one as last, even though I do think it is realistic. The third player is, I swear to God, Simpson Daz is reading my list. Are you somewhere in my room? Because my third player is indeed Lucas Moura. I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious here. Simpson Daz is spying on me. Lucas Moura is my third player. Lucas Moura is one of Jose's obsessions. At Tottenham, Lucas Moura was his favourite player at Tottenham. In fact, we faced Tottenham in a friendly game when we beat them 1-0 this summer. Go on Jose Mourinho's Instagram page to the day we beat them. Now, I'm going to find this for you. Because this is significant. It shows you how much he's obsessed with Lucas Moura. There you go. He posted a picture of him kissing Lucas Moura, saying great training session with the top team, and one of the great things in football is the amazing people you cross life paths with, and that is Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura is an obsession, just like Cristante, just like Mancini, just like other players. And I just think if you give Lucas Moura back to Mourinho, where he belongs, it's like you give... You see, it's like you give little snacks to starving dogs. The second they smell that little snack in your pocket, they assault on you. They literally would spit on you to get those snacks. If you say to Mourinho, right, here is Lucas Moura, Mourinho would start literally, I'm not joking, would literally start, I don't know, what do you want to call it? He'd go mad because he loves Lucas Moura. Now, I think Lucas Moura is good as a second striker. I would 100%, not in a million years, get Lucas Moura and start him. 100%. But look at Belotti right now. He's playing like dog crap. So we need someone who, even if he doesn't start, is as good as the first striker. And I know Lucas Moura isn't technically a striker, but he has been playing as a striker, and I think he's got the capacities of playing as a striker. Lucas Moura is the perfect second striker after, you know, maybe who will be Tammy's substitution or any other striker which we haven't planned to buy. Just add Lucas Moura on the back of him. Lucas Moura is just and yeah, I understand people will say he's inconsistent at times. I really understand that, especially because he hasn't been playing lately. But I just think Lucas Moura plus Mourinho, happy life. Happy life. That's all I'm saying. And obviously, if a player is back with the manager he loves, then he's going to grab the faith back again. So Lucas Moura is indeed my third player. My fourth player is another player which we've been talked about, another player which we've been linked with, another player which I'm starting to understand. It's really, Mourinho's really pushing to sign for. And it's Fratesi. I think Mourinho has understood that his priority in the mid, in the defensive box-to-box mid, it's Fratesi. Now, and if he could only pick from the Serie A, then 100% his priority is Fratesi. Another thing which explains why Mourinho is really onto this Fratesi deal is the fact that if it wasn't for Mourinho, Roma would never in a million years try to sign Fratesi back. And this really puts to mind that it's the manager who's trying to put the pressure on the ownership. Because if it's not the manager who doesn't want him, then you don't see a team which sells one of their old academy players and then a few years after wants to buy him back for 30 million euros. You just don't see that. It doesn't make sense. It's embarrassing for the ownership, and the ownership would just not do that. So the fact that we're interested in him, the fact that we've been linked with him, the fact that he himself has said, potentially after Jose gave him a few calls, my priority in the next couple of years is to get back at Roma, then you clearly see that Mourinho really wants him and is really pushing to sign for him. Now again, Sassuolo's making things complicated. If it wasn't for Sassuolo, I think Fratesi would have become a Roma player this summer. But Sassuolo's a pain in the ass. And frankly speaking, I think Mourinho is slowly starting to understand that the more money they ask, the least interested we're on in him. Because it just doesn't make sense that we had him in our own backyard and then a few years after, we just want him back. And Mourinho, in my opinion, is starting to understand the fact that if Sassuolo is asking more than 20 million for Fratesi, then for the sake of just how this operation is, the fact that he was one of our players, then just forget it and get another player. And this is something which Mourinho is slowly understanding, in my opinion. But again, I do think it's a big hole, and it's one of those Italian players which adds on the Italian-based team next to Pellegrini, next to Nico, next to Cristante, next to Mancini. We've got a lot of Italian players, and Fratesi is the future of the Italian national team. And again, I definitely think it's one of Mourinho's priorities. Right, let me read some comments and then we'll lead our way onto our last player. In the meantime, before I reveal the last player in my list, which is the least realistic one, but I'll explain why it can be realistic, please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel down below. Takes 2 seconds, free of cost, and let's try to get 6,000 subscribers as fast as possible. So click that red button if you haven't already. Right. Kudus from Ajax, yeah, that'd be a wish. That would be a dream. I think Lopez is more creative. Jose got Matic back after sending him off to Benfica. I want Depay. I prefer playing Lucas more behind the striker. Lukic, yes, Lukic is another player which we've been linked with. All of these players, I will definitely give you updates in these next days. I just think with the World Cup, with these matches that we're having with the World Cup, I don't think anyone cares about the transfer market. That's the only thing I'd say. Let's get a Boubacar or Choupo-Moting. Again, a Boubacar or Choupo-Moting or the classic players, which in my opinion would be perfect as a second striker. Anyways, let's not waste time. It's not Ronaldo. No, it's not Ronaldo. My last player is go get Kante on a free. Boom! You're probably going, oh my god, Simon, shut up! Shut up! He's not gonna come to Roma! Shut up! Shut up! He can't go from Chelsea to Roma! Calm down. But go get Kante on a free. He's not gonna renew his contract with Chelsea. He's not on his best of forms. It's not prime Kante anymore. Go get him. Jose, if you're watching this, give him a call. And just, get on a Zoom call with him, you, Dybala, Tammy, who used to play at Chelsea, to try and convince Kante. Why is it realistic? One, it's realistic because we've been sneakily trying to sign him when he was this summer there was a live stream before we signed Dybala where I went, I know that we're gonna sign a big player, but I didn't name the player because I didn't want to overhype anyone. That player was Kante in my mind because I was reading that Roma, the big hit in the last summer transfer market, was either gonna be Dybala or either gonna be Kante. Then we ended up signing Dybala. This means that we had the means of trying to sign Kante. We had the will. Mourinho had the will. The Fredkins could have prepared an assault for Kante. Therefore, let's do it again. But now, he's also a free agent. So I know that the fact that he's a free agent, there will be a lot of competition on him. But get him on a free. Just imagine having Kante in our team. I know it's not prime Kante anymore. I just know he gets injured every 2 games. But the games he plays, playing with Kante is literally like playing with 2 players, more than your team, than your opponents. He's just so vital. We need someone with Kante's personality. And I always say this, Kante, a few years ago in 2017, the best 2 midfielders, the best 2 defensive midfielders in the world were Kante and Nainggolan, prime Nainggolan at Roma. We need someone who has Nainggolan's personality because these fans are used to seeing Nainggolan in that midfielder and now they just don't see Nainggolan anymore. And the only player in these generations of football which I think can be comparable to prime Nainggolan at Roma is Kante. Roma need Kante. Roma need a player like Kante. He's on a free agent. We've sneakily tried to sign him last summer. Do it again. Just do it again. We have to buy a big player. We have to buy a big player this summer for the branding, for the globalization of the team. Go get Kante. Go get Kante. Go get Kante. It's that easy. What Kante does to you is something which no one in this team does, not even Dybala. And also, Kante is injury prone. So is Smalling. Look at Smalling now. He's played every single game. If Roma and Mourinho and Mourinho's assistants can prepare a magic spell to get Kante's injuries away from him, Kante will become by far the most needed player in Roma's team, even more than Dybala. With Kante, it's all a matter of getting his fitness back, because I know he gets injured quite a lot, but it's all about getting his fitness back and getting him back playing at his best. And if Kante does that, oh my god, if Kante does that, we're not going to lose any derbies. It's as simple as. But again, there has to be sacrifices. And he's a free agent. His wages aren't drastic, aren't dramatic. If there were talks about signing Ronaldo, then sure, there aren't massive problems when it comes to signing Kante. Plus, I think Kante would have earned more than Dybala does. So, give him a call, because I think Mourinho loves him. And it's one of those players which you can't hate, which gives everything for their team. And that is exactly what Mourinho loves and who he wants in the team. If Smalling doesn't sign, we can't be sure he's going to continue to perform well until the end of the season. Kante is a good call. He was not treated well at Chelsea. They played him all the time, burned out. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this live stream, entertaining live stream, but at the same time, productive live stream, because we're getting an idea of the players Mourinho would want, the dream signings in Mourinho. Some of these players which I mentioned today are players which we've been linked with, which we are linked with, and which I will be updating you in these next following days and weeks. So all I need to say right now is smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments your favorite one out of my list, and then let me know a player which isn't on my list, which you would sign, which you think would be Mourinho's dream signing at Roma. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as I said yesterday, subscribe and turn those bell notifications on and tell everyone to subscribe, because in a couple of weeks leading on to Christmas, I'll be announcing the first ever giveaway on the Roma Theory channel. So all you need to do right now is to subscribe and to turn that bell notification on and to smash the like button in this video. And I will catch you tomorrow with a fresh new week speaking about our beloved Roma. I'll catch you soon. Simon out. Enjoy the World Cup tonight. Have a good night, and I'll speak to you all soon. Simon